Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Hey everybody, welcome to Top Stock Picks of the Week. I'm Kevin Cooker, and my pick is Nvidia. And I'm going to try and help you wrap your head and hands around the valuation and why I think the stock goes to $700 this year, maybe $750 next year, and how and where you want to buy it. So let's first look at the chart. Here's a weekly chart. There were a lot of bargains during the Corona crash here in early 2020. I wish I'd jumped on a lot more things. One thing I did right was jumping in and buying Nvidia near $200. And, we just had this incredible recovery in the entire market. Software, technology, chips were on fire again. And then in late August, there were rumors Nvidia is going to buy ARM Holdings, the British chip maker that they licensed their technology for like 90% of smartphones have ARM licensed technology. And Nvidia was going to buy them. Rumors, what should it go for? $50 billion for SoftBank. I was skeptical at first. I didn't like the deal. I wrote this piece on it here, where I sort of came around to the idea because then it was announced that in mid-September that the rumors were true, and Nvidia was going to try and buy ARM for $40 billion from SoftBank, which I realized was all of a sudden a great deal, and it sort of highlights the fact that maybe Mr. Sun at SoftBank was in some financial trouble. He'd made some bad deals and some things were blowing up on him, and maybe he needed cash. He was over leveraged, so he was willing to take $40 billion, even though he paid $32 billion in 2016 and said he would never sell. Here he is now selling it. So I was skeptical at first. We took some profits, and then we're just watching Nvidia go sideways for 9 months here. And I told my people, I'm looking for a dip to 450. We'll buy a dip to 450. And we would never get one, So we just had a correction here in February, March. The lowest we got was 462. And so I said, we got to be buyers, like 520, 540. We finally jumped in here, 535, added to our position from 200. And so now let's go right to the valuation. Let's look at the estimates. So here's the Zacks detailed estimates page, sales on top, EPS in the bottom. So if we look out to next year, their fiscal year ends in January, 25 billion is the number for sales. Currently at 380 billion, that means Nvidia is trading for 15 times sales. That's rich, yes. EPS gets worse. EPS at $600, $15 a share next year is 40 times EPS. But why would anybody pay this for Nvidia here now? Now, first of all, again, my thing is buy the dips, right? Anytime you get a decent dip, buy it. I felt strongly that Nvidia was going to break out of this to the upside, so I wanted to be a buyer here under 540. So I don't buy the breakouts, you buy the dips in Nvidia. So if you get another dip to 550, you can buy Nvidia. Looking for 700, sometime in the next 6 to 12 months. That's the way I approach it. But why should Nvidia even trade at this insane, crazy valuation? Well, why should Tesla trade at its valuation? Nvidia is the Tesla of semiconductors, okay? They're doing so much right. And this EPS is we're going to leave this behind. In the next 3 to 4 years, this number is going to double and quadruple. It's just going to keep going. There's nothing slowing Nvidia down. And if you watch the the Investor Day, the GTC conference, GPU Tech conference, you see all the cool stuff. And in fact, if you're ever in doubt about the power that Nvidia has to innovate, both in embedded technologies and their full stack, software and hardware stack, Go to the news page, like check the news page every week, and there's just always something that they're innovating on, thus the name Nvidia. And so what's going on with ARM? Will the deal happen? Who knows? I mean, it was already too many obstacles, right? They've got to get approval from regulators on 3 continents. The US FTC, then UK authorities, and Europe is doing their own review. The UK may not even have a final ruling until this July. And then Asia, of course, China and Korea are worried about the deal too, because everybody licenses ARM technology and they don't want Nvidia to have total control of it. Whereas, to Nvidia's credit, Jensen Huang has said from the beginning, we will continue to provide full access to ARM technology to everybody who uses it. So, I mean, Qualcomm has protested, Google has protested, even Microsoft has said, this deal shouldn't go through. Apple and Intel probably have their gripes, Samsung too, but one way to look at it is, should we have any tears for these Goliaths? Are we really going to feel sorry for them that Nvidia struck this fantastic deal with ARM? And remember, it's not so the antitrust issues are really unique here because it's about this licensing of the technology. But for Nvidia, it's not like they're dominating in one industry. Nvidia specializes in GPUs, and they are adding CPU technology. So look up Grace if you come on the newsroom here. Search Grace. Grace is the new what's coming. I mean, right now, Nvidia makes the most powerful supercomputers in the world. If you're a university doing deep research, whether it's in genomics, artificial intelligence, or you're any corporation that wants to do deep research where you got to crunch a lot of numbers, you want an Nvidia full stack, a DGX. And so let me just read to you about this thing that's coming, the ARM CPU called Grace. It's targeted for next generation AI models with trillions of parameters. A system outfitted with an ARM-based processor and its capabilities will enable 10 times the performance, 2 times the memory bandwidth, and 10 times the energy efficiency of today's already top-of-the-line NVIDIA DGX-based systems. So, NVIDIA is just continue to clobber and dominate in all these areas. This is the video I did last year. It's got a lot of good information. You just look it up, NVIDIA strikes an arms deal. You can find it on YouTube too. The point is I want to encourage people, don't be afraid of this valuation. Buy the dips in NVIDIA. So if you get, we get a pullback to 550, you want to be there because NVIDIA is going to be there in the future in terms of technology that's embedded in automobiles. They just, at GTC, they announced, what's going on with Mercedes-Benz and how, Mercedes-Benz is going to continue to innovate with new EV technology and wanting to use the smart stuff from NVIDIA. So, there's no shortage of innovation here. I wanted to see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you. No, I mean, that pretty much covers it. And NVIDIA still has a killer gaming business. I mean, this is the thing. Jensen Huang is a lot like Elon Musk in that they surround themselves with the best engineering talent in the world. And so, and these guys are just passionate about what they do. And so they will continue to dominate in so many industries. And that's why you can pay 15 times sales for NVIDIA. All right, up next is Dave Bartosiak.
Well, thanks for that pick, Kevin. I've got one here in a totally unrelated industry to chips. I guess it is. Wood chips. That's right. It's a lumber company. I'm talking about Potlatch, ticker PCH. Let's go ahead and take a look on Zacks.com and see what I mean. Potlatch is a Zacks rank #1 strong buy right now, with a Zacks value score of D, growth of B, momentum of B, to help it round out with a VGM composite score of B. The building products wood industry is in the top 4% of our Zacks industry rank, and a lot of that has to do with lumber prices. So lumber prices have been moving a lot higher. Got a lot of reasons why. Basically, a boom in home renovations and home building is part of it. But the other part is last time these lumber companies got burned by the market, they held back on their expansion of their sawmills. So not a lot of capital investment there. So there's not enough sawmills for this boom. Anyway, I guess I'm being kind of brave here because this stock does report after the bell today. So I'm going to name it my top stock pick of the week without knowing how the report goes. Yes, that's right. That's called rolling the dice. Last quarter's EPS surprise was 2.78% to the upside, but we've got a positive earnings ESP here of 1.56%, so that could be a good thing. Now, the way this company operates is essentially as a REIT, and they manage this huge portfolio of lumber, basically land, timberland, I suppose you can call that. Current year sales, look at this, 10.5% sales growth. EPS looks like 41.16%. I just saw that a top tier firm kept their strong buy recommendation on this and bumped up their price target to, I think it was $79 per share, up from where it was before. So that's a good thing. Look at the analyst revisions. I'm not the only one that likes it. Over the course of the last 60 days, 2 analysts have increased their earnings estimates for the company for the current year, and 1 has followed suit for next year. Now, what does that look like? Again, definitely a boom this year. Look at that. 90 days ago, they thought they were going to do $1.90. That went up to $3.25, $3.77, and all the way up to the $4.15 that they think it's going to be at today. Again, that's obviously reflecting higher lumber prices, so that is a pretty good thing. That's why I'm naming this my top stock pick of the week. All right, folks, so for Kevin and I, that's all we have for our top stock picks of the week. Well, that's not all, of course. Why don't you check out www.zacks.com/promo to see the deal that we have going this week on our home study course. That's all I have here for Kevin and I. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.